If I eat 1500 calories with carb vs 1500 in keto, should I lose more body fat while being in keto? If I eat 1500 calories with carb vs 1500 in keto, should I lose more body fat while being in keto? X200B. Also, if I find it easier to eat less calories with carbs like rice or potato or quite filling and low in calories, should I just do CICO with carbs and forget keto? X200B. For instance, a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association JAMA in 2018 compared low carb and low fat diets and found that as long as calorie intake was the same, there wasn't a significant difference in weight loss between the two groups over a 12-month period. X200B. Based on this research, there isn't any benefit? I am JSUT trying to understand keto better and maybe have some personal opinions of yours about why you do keto instead of JSUT SICO. Keto works because protein is very filling and does not spike your insulin, making you feel full far longer. Carbs spike your insulin, making you crave more carbs, and those spikes make you store unused calories as fat. Rice and potatoes aren't quite as filling as you think. They make you feel full in the short term, but an hour or two later you're hungry again. Whereas if you eat a lot of fat and protein, it can take many hours, often even the next day, until you're hungry again. For me, carbs spike my blood sugars. I fly high and crash on them. Combining IF and low carb, not quite keto. I just hang out for ideas. I lose 0.5 to 1.0 pounds a week. I think it's less keto burns more fat and more it's easier to stick to keto long term because it is satiating and results happen over the long term. And the sugar and insulin spikes lead to insulin resistance, inflammation, diabetes type 2. Other reason to do it is mental health and mental clarity, influenced by ketones and not being triggered by any food commercial you see, etc. Over time, if you haven't forced your body to become fat adapted, your metabolism will respond to your calorie deficit by slowing down to match your intake. If you have a lot of weight to lose, you'll have to keep reducing calories, which would be difficult to maintain. On the other hand, when I combined keto with intermittent fasting, I found 1500 calories was too much. Over the course of 70 years, I tried every weight loss diet I could find, and only yo-yoed. Finally, I found keto low carb, and lost 150 pounds. Over 18 months, and I've maintained for 8 months since. The more you go to species-specific diets such as carnivore keto, the less the calorie measurement seems to matter. What I means is, your hunger signaling seems to actually be reliable when they're not under the influence of carbs. I eat till I feel full basically, and it has worked to reduce fat mass, improving my body composition. The benefit is the powerful and natural appetite suppression from ketosis that allows you to maintain the caloric deficit. I've never been able to find anything as powerful, and I've even tried the prescription meds. The side effects were awful and I just binge ate when I didn't take them. Ketosis rewires my taste buds too, and I don't desire much sugar anymore. Dieting restricting calories is hard to stick to, which is why like 97% of dieting attempts result in failure due to low adherence. Every time I tried to eat on calories deficit while consuming refined carbs sugars, I always fail due to hunger and cravings for more carbs. Refined carbs sugar increase insulin. High insulin stops fat burning. High insulin brings down blood glucose level. Low blood glucose level triggers cravings for more carbs. Complex carbohydrates do not raise insulin so much. That's why some people can lose weight eating nothing but potatoes only. Lower insulin, more fat loss, more insulin, more muscle loss. You might lose more weight eating keto if you're just going into ketosis. Because most people lose a large amount of water weight when they first enter ketosis after eating carbs for a while. But at the end of the day, fat loss is basic thermodynamics. Calories in, calories out. I used keto to curb my hunger signals and made sure my calories stayed under 2,000 per day in order to lose 100 pounds. Being in ketosis made it so I wasn't hungry, which made OMAD easier, which made CICO easier. Forget keto for a minute. When your body's insulin level is above a certain amount, you inhibit fat burning. Insulin is an anabolic hormone that signals growth. So from a calorie perspective, if you were eating 500 calories below maintenance every day, you would lose a pound a week. But if you are chronically spiking your insulin and you are not strength training, more of the weight loss will come from lean tissue. And in theory, the chronic spikes of insulin will inhibit fat burning more often, leading to potentially more lean mass loss. Strength training would overcome most or all of this. IR comes into play. Keto manages IR. Carbs exacerbate it. ISTR. There's some evidence that people with a very high BF have a higher reduction in BF on a lower carb diet, all things being equal. But for the average person, I'm not sure it applies so much. The question is which diet is generally healthier and which one is sustainable long term. I have tried low-calorie dieting without keto. But while I did lose weight, I could not sustain those habits long term. On keto I feel better and I'm not hungry all the time despite my low-calorie intake. Personally, I have more energy with keto diet. I don't have to fight with afternoon fatigue as much anymore. I can't find the paper, but there is a very slight thermogenic increase on keto. But it's fairly small, like 50 calories. And I think that's only when your body is completely adaptive to it. Because your body doesn't have to go through a blood sugar insulin roller coaster before it starts using stored fat for energy. CICO is always true. It's just physics. Your body doesn't care where a calorie comes from. It burns it or stores it as needed. If you can count calories and maintain your target, you can eat whatever you want. People generally turn to a keto diet because they can't maintain their target while eating carbs. One of the main reasons keto works as a weight loss diet is because you don't feel hungry as much as with a carb-free diet, and therefore you can easily sustain high-calorie deficits. If for whatever reason you can actually sustain those with carbs as well, go ahead. If you eat carbs, you're burning them as fuel before you burn fat. Now if you eat carbs and fat, you'll burn both before stored fat. If you eat fat-based keto, you burn the ingested fat before anything else, and if you eat protein-based keto, you'll burn the ingested fat and then your stored fat. My personal experience. I was eating once a day, around 1,200–1,500 calories. Did not lose any weight. Started keto, eating around 2,000–2,100 calories a day. Losing a pound a week. Down 13 so far. It's a lot more than just calories. The biggest difference between 1,500 c of carbs and 1,500 calories of fat and protein is that the carb route does not activate and train your metabolism to mobilize fats more effectively. I guarantee they did not let the keto subjects reach fat adaptation. Then, my friend, the pounds will melt off while you sleep. Just saying. Go keto and exercise those fat mobilization pathways. I feel like there is also an anti-inflammatory aspect to keto that the same calories in a carb meal provides. I'd love a study that could show that eating the same calories but in keto results in less excess skin. Just do keto, eat till you are full. Don't count calories.